وسيد المرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، لا سيما عن الإمام المنتظر وحجة الله الثاني عشر ابن العسكري المنتظر، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم القرآن الحكيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. صلوات. Into the second night of my promise to you that the first two nights will be little distance away from my main topic, and it is with the intention that we hold each other's hands to move forward by means of tawasaw bil haqq and tawasaw bil sabr, helping one another, doing wasiyat to one another for the obedience towards Allah and the benefit and deriving the maximum effects for the month of Ramadan. Yesterday, if you recall, we had identified 2 points. And basically, the idea of these 2 days is that we set a platform whereby for the remainder of the month of Ramadan, we act on these amal which have immense benefits. And you heard 2 of them yesterday. We will continue with 2 of them today. Tomorrow's the workshop, and then after that, we start our main program. However, as I mentioned, these 2 nights, yesterday and tonight, should not be considered as any trivial or insignificant, because this is what we are laying the groundwork for the remainder of the month of Ramadan. Yesterday, we spoke about Dua Joshne Kabir. We spoke about Surah Inna Anzalna. And just for your information, one sentence which I will elaborate tomorrow is that when I mentioned that it's not just that you am telling you, I've already told my family. So if I've told you about Dua Joshne Kabir, I've inquired the 12-hour difference. I've inquired with my family and they've recited it at home. This is what we need to do. But more elaboration on this will come, inshallah, tomorrow in the workshop. Having said that, we have to realize the importance that we are in which part of the year that we find ourselves in. In that last khutbah of Sha'ban, the Holy Prophet has said, "Du'aytum fihi ila diyafatillah." All of you, O people, the Holy Prophet is saying, have been invited to the feast of Allah, to the banquet of Allah. I'm going to give you 2 examples today of what that feast of Allah means when we become the guest of Allah. Khuda ki mehmani aur hum jo Khuda ke mehman bane hain, what is the outcome? What is the consequence of that? I want to show you with 2 little points today. But I just want to highlight to you that we need to get that perspective right, the mindset right when it comes to the month of Ramadan. See, we have the Arafah that we have in our Islamic ulama cycle. The Arafah, Ayatollah Behjat and Ayatollah Allama Tabatabai and Ayatollah Hassan Zada Amili and Said Mahdi Bahar Ulum and Sheikh Haddad and XYZ. These Arafah have a dab, they have a norm, they have an etiquette. One of the etiquettes is that they will never pray to Allah to give them a long life. If it is there in the du'as, they will pray it. And tutila umri fi khairin wa afi. We recite in dua. Ki Allah increase, give me a tool of umr. But that is because it has come from the ma'asumin. But when they do their dua, they never say, Allah give me a long life. They say, we are nobody to tell God. You want to keep me, you keep me. You want to take me, you take me. Except in one occasion. Why I'm saying this in the month of Ramadan, we need to know where we stand. These Urfa will never seek a long life, except when the month of Rajab comes. When the month of Rajab comes, now they will start praying to God. God, now that you've given me life till the month of Rajab, give me another 2.5 months so that I can get Laylatul Qadr. So that I can get Laylatul Qadr. Understand, all these du'as from the first night till the 22nd night are all gearing us up to increase our spirituality to get that Laylatul Qadr. That one night that will change your life and my life in this world and the hereafter. So when they see that they're in the month of Rajab, now they start praying. यहाँ तक मोहलत दे दी और 2 महीने 10 दिन जो है और मुझे और 2 महीने 20 दिन जो है. Give me another 2 months and 19 days, 20 days, 21 days, so that I can get that Laylatul Qadr. And this is what happens, and it is not just you and me. Rawat tell us, even Imam Zamana Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajuhu Sharif. So I'm not going to discuss about Laylatul Qadr, we still have time for that. But what I'm saying is that even Imam Zamana Rawat tells us, come the first of Mah-e-Ramazan, he goes on a specific regimen of ibadat to highlight and uplift his spirituality, which is always at its epitome. But we have to understand, Imam Zamana is not Allah. He's not infinite. There's always room that he can write. And that's what happens when he sends salawat upon the Ahlul Bayt. Their elevation, their rank increases. Rawat is there for us. He goes on a special regimen from the first of Mah-e-Ramadan. Ulama say, Mujtahideen say this, it's not from me. So he goes on a specific regimen of ibadat to elevate his spiritual level to a state where he can then receive min kulli amrin that comes down the Laylatul Qadr. It's not a joke to receive the affairs of the entire world. No, entire universe. No, entire world of creation. It is not just you and me. It's not just you and me and the jinn. It's not just you and me and the insects. It's you and me, jinn, angels, everything that comes under Alam al-Wujud. All the affairs of the Alam al-Wujud come on the qalb of one man, Imam Zamana. He has to develop and enhance his spirituality to receive that kind of revelation from Allah for the entire Alam al-Wujud, because he is the fulcrum and the pivot of the Alam al-Wujud. He is the fulcrum. محلي منها محلة القطب من الرحى. Imam Ali al-Islam says in Nahj al-Balagha, my entity in this entire universe, he's given the example in Nahj al-Balagha, in khutbah Shaqiya, he says محلي منها, the position of me with respect to this world of existence, and Khilafat is like محل القطب من الرحى. What is qutb and what is raha? Raha chakki kehte hain Urdu mein. That chakki in Arabic is called riha. दो पत्थर होते हैं बड़े बड़े, सही है, एक के ऊपर handle होता है, and then there's a hole in between the two, and between the hole there's a piece of wood, and then you put grains, and then you move it, and that grain gets ground into powder and it falls from the sides. वही तो इसी तरह चक्की भी सी जाती है ना. You know what is important in these things to make the actual riha work? It is not the two stones. It is not the handle. It is a piece of wood that holds, that is a hole in between them, the two pieces of stones. This is piece of wood is there, and now when you move the upper stone, it moves without coming out. If you were to pick up that piece of wood and try to move it, you would never be able to turn because it will fall off. Amir al-Mu'minin Khutbah Shaqiya says, my existence in this universe is like that piece of wood. You take it out, this universe will not function. It will cease to function, just as a chakki will cease to function when you pick out that fulcrum. This is me. And that is what we need to understand. That even Imam Zamana, when he's receiving this entire revelation for the Alam al-Wujud, he has to elevate himself. So then what's wrong with you and me trying to do it? Why shouldn't we be doing it? And so the Arafah always wait. When it's Rajab, they say, now give us time so that we can get Laylatul Qadr. A few things today that you need to bear with me. I'll go quickly. In our series of ulama that have passed by, specifically the Arafah, those who are interested into Irfan and have followed, there's one personality by the name of Sayyid Qadi Tabatabai. Sayyid Qadi Tabatabai is buried in Najaf in Wadi Salam. Anytime you go to the Qabristan of Wadi Salam and you go to the Qabr of Sayyid Qadi Tabatabai, you will not usually find awam. You'll always find ulama. Mujtahideen go there. Sayyid Qadi Tabatabai was one in a existence of an individual to live. And this is not me saying this. Mujtahideen, when they asked, tell us about the rank of Sayyid Qadi Tabatabai, Maraja, when they asked, you know what they say? They say, if you need to have another person like Sayyid Qadi Tabatabai in this world, Allah will have to create another universe. In this world, pass by. He sees me, he comes to me, he puts a hand on my shoulder. He said, Muhammad Hussain, if you want dunya, namaz shab. If you want akhirat, namaz shab. Why am I saying this? This is the time where if you do not have time in the other months, this is the time to start now. The stomach will always get you to wake up at the time of sahar. The stomach will always tell you, wake up at the time of sahari. At the time of sahari, when you wake up for food, take some time out to recite namaz shab. Those who are reciting, alhamdulillah. Those who are not reciting, you want dunya, namaz shab. You want akhirat, namaz shab. This is a man, ahle dil, who has seen things, is telling us. Don't lose out on this opportunity. If you're praying, get your children to pray. If you're not praying, start praying now. Sometimes it is inconceivable when people think that success lies in their efforts. Yes, Quran says, لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. Man will get what he endeavors and strives for, but that does not work without the support of the divine guidance of Allah. Without Allah, Quran says, وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. Everything that comes to you from God. If a person thinks by his effort he's going to strike it big in this world and strike it big in the hereafter, a massive mistake. It doesn't work. It has to come from God, and if it has to come from God, dunya mein khoi namaz shab, akhirat mein khoi namaz shab. You want dunya namaz shab, you want akhirat namaz shab. Try it out, especially the youths. You want to see how it helps you out in studies, my friend? I'm telling this to you. I've seen my son. This is personal. This is personal testimony. 3 years he started reciting namaz shab, from year 7 to year 10. And where he reached because of this namaz shab, I know it. This is my personal experience, I'm telling you. Your memory increases, your retention increases, your grasp increases, your marks will increase. You will see the change in your life. Try it out for 6 months and then say that to me. So namaz shab, good time now. Those who are in the taqleed of Ayatollah Sistani, even easier for you than as opposed to Marhum Ayatollah Khoi. Because Marhum Ayatollah Khoi had the mabna, that namaz shab has to be recited after Nisf al-Layl, midnight. Ayatollah Sistani says, no, according to my tahqiq, you can recite namaz shab immediately after Isha prayers. Aur kya chahiye hame? Then they say 11 rakat, you can't pray 11 rakat, leave out the 8th rakat, pray 3 rakats. You can't pray 3 rakats, pray 1 rakat namaz al-witr. That 1 rakat, if you cannot pray for 15 minutes, recite Alhamd, recite Qul Huwallah and go down. God wants to see you do it after namaz al-Isha. Not 11 rakat, 3 rakats. Not 3 rakats, 1 rakat. Not 15 minutes of 1 rakat, 1 minute of Alhamd, Qul Huwallah, go to one side, Qunut and go to Ruku and Sajda. Is that so difficult to get dunya and akhirah? Ajab bana this is, yeah? Agar ye hum nahi kar sakte, to I can't strike big without God in this world. खुदा के अलावा कामयाबी नहीं है मुयस्सर. कब इंसान समझेगा? हर चीज की बागडोर is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not in our zakawat, our intelligence, our business planning, our business strategy. You know what Amir al-Mu'mineen says? You know how I know God? When the best of my plans fail, I know there is a power over me. I've planned out, I've strategized, I've got everything right, I've got my entire business proposal planned out, finances ready, everything. And at the last moment when I'm going to start, things fall out of place. Now I know that there's some power that has overruled my thinking. That power we need to be coming to us. That power comes with namaz al-shab. That power comes with salat al-layl. No person who has achieved success continues. You may see temporary success, but no permanent success comes without getting God on your side. Getting God on your side means Salatul Layl. So this is the second part. The third part for yesterday, including yesterday. Remember he said, دُعِيتُمْ فِيهِ إِلَى ضِيَافَةِ اللَّهِ. The Prophet says, يَا مَعْشَرَ النَّاسِ. Remember in this month, आप जो है मेहमान है परवरदिगार आलम के. इस परवरदिगार आलम को मेजबान बनता है ना, तो then he does some etiquettes. हमारे घर पे कोई मेहमान आते हैं, people come to us as guests, we lay out the table for them. Different courses, meals, desserts, falan. God has laid out desserts, but desserts that help us in the akhirah. One example of this which I'm telling you, this is very simple. But many times Quran says, فَذَكِّرْ, remind, فَإِنَّ بَعْتِ الذِّكْرَ. Reminder helps the people. Man is prone to forgetfulness. It's reminder that keeps the people in check. One of the etiquettes of the month of Ramadan that he's giving to us as a host is this. And you know this. There's nothing new. I just want to remind you. I just want to bring to your mind. You've heard it so many times. And this is there also in that khutbah. These two lectures are based on the khutbah of the Holy Prophet, last khutbah of Shaban. He says, in this month, if you recite one ayah of the Quran, it is equivalent to reciting the whole Quran. Answer all that? We've been hearing since we were child, we've been hearing, all of us. One ayah of Quran is equivalent to reciting the whole Quran. Now look where I'm going to. One ayah equivalent to reciting the whole Quran. You realize how, if you focus yourself, you realize how much time we waste. So, एक आयत की तिलावत and एक Quran. If I am to recite Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I've got the reward for one whole Quran and the other months. I tested this out once, and that's why I'm telling you. And again, rest assured, before I've told you, I've told my family. और वहां जो एक दिन पहले नमाज में चांद नजर आ गए. They've already started. I've always tell them, month of Ramadan comes, make sure you're driving, you're walking, you're cooking. To my wife, keep reciting an ayat of the Quran. And I've personally told them, recite Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. There's a reason for it. One. And I'll tell you why. One reason for it. According to riwayat and traditions, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is as close to Ism Azam of God as the black of an eye is to its white of an eye. Itna khareeb. Ejaz-angeez ayat hai. That is one. Secondly, it is the fundamental of the wilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? Because you heard that hadith of the holy of Amir al-Mu'minin. The entire Quran can be summarized in Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That means if you actually open, if a Masoom wants to do the tafsir of Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, it will be the 114 verses of the Quran. And if you summarize it, it will become the Bismillah. The more Amir al-Mu'minin says, he says, there is the entire Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim can be done tafsir by the Ba. And I am that nuktatun taht al-Ba. Meaning what? Meaning if I'm not there as a nukta, that Ba will not be there. If that Ba is not there, the Bismillah will not be there. If Bismillah is not there, the Quran will not be there. If the Quran is not there, the Deen is not there. If Deen is not there, this entire khilqat of God is not there. I am the fundamentals of the khilqat of God. Understand that it's not lafazi that I want Nara Haydari from you. I'm trying to explain to you what Imam is trying to say in words that we can understand. He says that Nuqtatu Tahatul Ba means without me there is no deen. If there is no deen, God does not need to create this universe. There will be no universe without me. And hence it becomes important with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now, where I want to take you is, we don't want to go into Bismillah because our discussion is something else. Where I want to take your mind to is this. That we waste a lot of time in our daytime which could be put to fantabulous use. And I'll give you why. Ladies cook at least iftar ke waqt kam se kam 1-1.5 घंटे की तो जो है मशक्कत होती है ना इनको घर पर ladies को. I tested this out once a few years ago. I took my son in this thing Mah-e-Ramazan and I started reciting Bismillah when I went to drop him. By the time I dropped him and came back very close, I saw 280 times I've recited Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You know what this 280 times means? It means 280 Qurans I've recited. And let's be honest, yeah? Dil pe haath rakhiye. Koi taaruf na kariyega. Everybody introspection to himself. Honestly, majority of us, how many times in a year do you finish Quran? One. Mah-e-Ramazan. Be very honest. I don't want the answers from you. Answer yourself. Majority of us only finish the Quran once in a month. In the Mah-e-Ramazan. That's it, huh? फिर वो सूरह यासीन और सूरह मुल्क की तिलावत होती रहती, that's different. But the whole Quran is only Mah-e-Ramadan. That means in 1 year we finish one Quran. Here in a matter of few minutes, if I'm reciting 280 Quran, I would have required 280 years, which was done in probably 7 minutes. Now imagine a lady is cooking in the house for an hour and a half. Forget hour and a half. Zain huzur, zain na raha, yaad nahi raha, masla nahi. 15 minutes if a lady recites. Calculate, yeah? A person like me can recite one tasbih of Bismillah in 3 minutes. These young people can recite in 2 minutes. Let's take 3 minutes. एक तस्बीह को अगर तो 100 दाने की तस्बीह को जो है अगर तो 3 मिनट लगते हैं. In 15 minutes, she's recited 500 times. 500 Quran in a day. Multiplied by 30. 15,000. 15,000 Quran. और इंसान की इतनी नहीं होती. 15,000 साल इंसान कब जिंदा रह चुका है. You go to drive your kids to school, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. How long does it take to recite Bismillah Rahman Rahim? You're sitting at home and spending hours in front of that idiot box. Watch the television. Nobody says don't watch news. But what's it to take a tasbih in your hand and start reciting Bismillah Rahman Rahim while you're still listening to it? We waste so much of our time that it could be put to so much good use. I'm not giving you fantastic rocket science. I'm just trying to tell you, at times God wants us to keep remembering Him. You know, there are numerous du'as when you enter the toilet, when you sit down, when you defecate, when you look at the water, when you're washing your hands. There are du'as for all of these steps. Why? Because He wants us to constantly keep Him in remembrance, because only in His remembrance will we not disobey Him. All this is part of that entire process. How many of us have not seen Ayatollah Baydat? You never see him without his lips moving. I have lived in Qum. I have walked with him from his house to the masjid where he offers his prayers. There's never a time when his lips are not moving. Constantly in remembrance of God. So he's become Ayatollah Baydat. Make use of your time. You're going from here to home. At least 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Remember, just get your focus. And you will see at the end of the month, you will be absolutely stunned what you have done. Then you will realize, had I been doing this every year, we would have manifested so much. Anyway, our job is to present, and then we inshallah take each other's hands and move forward. But over here, I just want to mention one more thing. See, when it comes to these riwayat of the Ma'asumeen, there are certain riwayat we understand very easily. Now get this very clear. Certain riwayat we understand very easily. So for example, somebody comes and asks the sixth Imam, Yabna Rasulullah, why is alcohol haram? Says, Al-khamru haramun li'annahu muskir. Alcohol is haram li'annahu muskir, because it is muskir. Muskir means it's an intoxicant. A very simple hadith. Alcohol is haram because it is an intoxicant. It intoxicates the mind. Hadith you hear, you understand. There are certain hadith, you read it, you understand it, but you can't fathom how it works. You can't fathom how it works. You understand the hadith, but you can't fathom how it works. So, Islam is a code of life. It has certain etiquettes for everything. So, etiquettes for combing the hair. Islam has got to stay in how to comb the hair. Seventh Imam narration. Now look, you will hear the hadith, you will understand it, but you will not be able to fathom how does it work. And that's why I'm going here to tell this to you. So the seventh Imam, Imam Musa al-Kadhim salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Something simple as combing the hair. And you always have been hearing, Islam is a code of life. It tells you, guides you how to live your life. Something as simple as combing your hair, Islam says, I will guide you because I have created you. I know you in and out. I know what benefits you, I know what is to your detriment. The seventh command says, anybody who combs his hair standing will suffer a weakening of the heart. His heart becomes weak. That's why it's advised, when you comb your hair, sit and comb your hair. You'll never find our ulama standing and combing the hair. They'll always sit and comb the hair. The seventh command says, if you stand and comb your hair, your heart becomes weak. You sit and comb your hair, your heart becomes strong. Now you've heard it, you've understood it. Tell me the relation, how does it work? What is standing and combing the hair got to do with the weakness of the heart? Park this for now. There's another tradition in the sixth imam, again with combing the hair. The sixth imam says, don't comb your hair in the bathroom. Allama Majlisi is narrating this. Don't comb your hair in the bathroom, because combing the hair in the bathroom weakens one's hair. You've heard the tradition, you understand it, but you're not able to fathom what is the link between combing the hair in the bathroom and the hair becoming weak. Third example, Joshne Kabir. Yesterday we spoke Dua Joshne Kabir. All of us know the duas that are there, 100 duas. Each dua has a specific purpose. You want toothache, you want the toothache to go away, there's a certain dua to be recited. If there's a pain in the eye, you recite a certain dua. You got a pain in the ear, pain in the stomach, a certain dua. How are words going to affect that pain that is there in my tooth or in my stomach? What happens? In olden days, it was very difficult to understand how this works. But today we can understand these youths. When you study computer science in school, you deal with algorithms. Allah has certain sunnat. Allah in the Quran says He functions the entire world by means of sunnats, certain formulae. In today's time, we call them algorithms. These algorithms are placed in the world of existence. Every time something happens that triggers the algorithm, the effects and consequences take place. There is an algorithm which says, if you disrespect your parents, your lifespan will decrease. The moment the person disrespects the mother, the algorithm comes into play, automatically the lifespan decreases. The riwayat says that algorithm of sadaqah, you give a sadaqah, the algorithm says, it says your risk increases. Moment you give sadaqah, that algorithm gets triggered and your risk increases. These are all rules and algorithms set by God. You will recite this verse, this happens. You recite that verse, this happens. You comb your hair standing, this will be the output. If you sit and comb, that will be the output. This is how God functions the world of existence. Don't think it is all ad hoc in God's world. In God's world, nothing is ad hoc. That entity is absolutely meticulous. He knows exactly what needs to be done and he doesn't need to be interfering at any time. He set those algorithms in motion. You go to Amazon, the moment you click one item, next time you go to any website, the Google and Amazon will put you those items in your search list. It will disappear before you. How? The algorithms come and take control me. That algorithm comes and it pastes it. It's all working in terms of algorithms, which Allah says sunnat. وَلَمْ تَجِدْ لِسُنَّةِ اللَّهِ تَبْدِيلًا. Quran, you will not find in the world of existence the sunnat of God changing. You disrespect the mother, you will face the same thing. I disrespect my mother, I will face the same thing. It doesn't distinguish, oh, I've got an imam, I should be relieved a little. No, the algorithm works for everyone in the same way. كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ, another sunnat of God. Nobody is exempt from it. Even Imam Zamana, you know, when he comes, shahadat will take place. So this is the second category. You will hear, you will understand, but you will not know how things are fathomed. You will not fathom how things are moving. For you guys, you need to realize, if science is not able to explain something to you, you can't just reject the hadith and say this is nonsense. Because things are beyond the understanding of humans, because this is divine intervention. Till the Maasum doesn't come and tell you, you will never be able to understand the relation between standing and combing hair and the weakness of the heart. He knows what thing triggers what algorithms. You know that incident of Imam Askari salawatullah salamu alayhi. A person comes to Imam Askari alayhi salam. One incident to know how they pull out the algorithms because they are aware of what is happening in the world of existence. एक मर्तबा एक शख्स इमाम अस्करी सलाम के पास आता कहता है या रसूलुल्लाह हमारे मंतक़ में जो है बारिश नहीं है. There's no water, rain inside. No water. We are fearing drought, famine. Imam says, okay. Where did you come from? He says, I've come from that region. Riwayat tell us, Imam picks up a stick. He writes something on the ground. He says, go. The rain will come. He goes and begins to rain. It begins to rain. Now it begins to rain so much there is fear of floods. So he comes running back. Yabna Rasulullah, too much water. Too much water. He writes something over there. Go, the rains have stopped. He goes, the rains have stopped. What is this? These are those individuals who've got ilm of the sunnahs of Allah. They know the algorithms and they know what triggers those algorithms, and they use that knowledge given to them by God to trigger those algorithms for your benefit and our benefit. So, this is the second category of ahadith. The third category of ahadith is even worse for us, basically. Not for them, but for us. Because neither can we understand it, nor can we fathom anything. We can't understand, nor can we fathom the relation. So give you an example. You know when Janab Ali Akbar alayhi salam went for the last khutbah of into the tent, जब आखिरी मर्तबा जो है मौला के पास आया कि बाबा मैं जा रहा हूं, मैं मक्तल में जाना चाह रहा हूं, तो इमाम ने क्या कहा? खैमे में जाओ और अपनी अम्मा से जो है इस्तिज़ान ले लो, इज़्न ले लो. He goes inside. Then you know, it took a long time for him to come out because the ladies were not allowing him to go. What we don't hear in the Masab, because it's not part of the Masab, it's part of the entity of the Ahlul Bayt, their maqam, which people don't usually mention, and even I don't mention in the Masab. But this is a different setup. You know, when he was getting late, Imam Hussein goes to the tent and he says, Di'anahu. Di'anahu is a Arabic form to say, leave him and let him go. And he says a sentence, you can't understand what it means. It says, Di'anahu, leave him, let him go, he's telling the ladies. It's a sentence, a figurative speech for the ladies. Di'anahu, leave him, فَإِنَّهُ مَمْسُوسٌ فِي ذَاتِ اللَّهِ. He's mamsoos. Ali Akbar को जाने दो, थोड़े से निकालो बाहर खैमे से, क्योंकि वो mamsoos है खुदा की जात में. Now let me tell you the meaning of mamsoos. Mamsoos is something that you say in the English, somebody who's possessed. तो किसी के पास जिन्नात का असर usually होता है या whatever. So he's possessed. इमाम का जुमला इसे जाने दो. He is possessed in the love of God. He is drowned in the love of God. Let him go. Somebody goes to Ayatollah Bahauddini. Ayatollah Bahauddini was one of the very big Urafa. Died recently, not very far away. About him it is said, all the Urafa had teachers who were humans. There was certain teacher. Allama Tabatabai had said Qadi Tabatabai, Sayyid Murtaza Kashmiri had said Qadi Tabatabai. Go back to time, said Mahdi Bahar Ulum, all were teachers. But Sayyid Bahauddin never had any normal teacher. Says his irfan was